The Four Ideals, Ancient Ideals, Modern Awakening. Buddha, the embodied awakened consciousness. Lama, embodied inner discipline and transmission. Jesus, embodied sacrificial love and heart. And Muhammad, embodied action and submission to divine will. Gurdjieff, through Beelzebub, acknowledges that these four beings embodied objective conscience and brought teachings that could help humanity awaken from its mechanical sleep. He considers them among the highest examples of real men who fulfilled their essence and mission to aid the spiritual development of others. Beelzebub presents these figures not just as religious founders, but as ideal models of being, whose teachings were distorted over time by the degeneration of human understanding and institutions. The following is a passage from chapter 38 of Beelzebub's Tales to his grandson, Religion, that references the seed of this idea. During my observations on the process of the existence of these peculiar three-brained beings, there had been many times actualized from above in the common presences of certain of them the germs of these sacred individuals, and almost on each occasion, with the exception only of the most sacred Asiata Shemash, and all connected with him which flowed from his own most great labours, after their completed formation and their fulfilment of the mission imposed on them from above, when the process of the sacred Raskuanu was completed with them, such religious teachings always began in the mentioned way to arise among these peculiar beings there, i.e., they at first, as I said, collected into one whole all that was indicated and explained in detail by these sacred individuals intentionally actualized from above for the purpose of remembering it all themselves and also for the purpose of transmission to subsequent generations, yet of course into one whole which they collected from the very beginning, as it is said there, from bits here and there. And later, as all of this which was collected together fell into the hands of just one of those two mentioned types there, well, just then they began, as I already expressed it, to peck at all this, and further dividing themselves up into their famous what are called sects, already compose new fantastic religious teachings thought out by themselves, as a result of which there always obtains on this planet of yours, firstly, a large number of religions as numerous as the colours in the rainbow, and secondly, as it is said, the same old story. During recent centuries, your favourites had many hundreds of these peculiar independent religious teachings in the common planetary process of their being existence, and the basis for all of them was the totality of the indications and explanations which had still survived and which had arisen in the mentioned way, given to them by the sacred individuals intentionally actualized among them from above. On these survived totalities by which, during recent times, they were in a strange manner inspired, and from which, with their bobtailed reason, they borrowed ideas from the inventions of their still newer and newer religious teachings, there were based 5 religions which still exist today, namely, those religions called the Buddhistic, the Hebrew, the Christian, the Mohammedan, and the Lamaist. Concerning the first of them, and namely the Buddhistic religion, I have already once told you. After St. Moses, that sacred individual was actualized there, who laid the beginnings of all that religion which your contemporary favourites call Christianity. This sacred individual, called by your favourites Jesus Christ, was actualized in the planetary body of a boy of the race of terrestrial three-brained beings whom St. Moses, on the command from above, chose from among the beings of the country Egypt and led to what is called the land of Canaan. After this Jesus, there was actualized also on the continent Asia 2 other sacred individuals on whose teachings the beings there founded 2 of the enumerated religions existing there until today. And namely, of these 2 sacred individuals was Saint Mohammed, who appeared among the, as they are called, Arabs, and the other, Saint Lama, appeared among the beings dwelling in the country named Tibet. At the present time, the first of the 5 religious teachings I mentioned, and namely the Buddhistic, is spread chiefly among the beings dwelling in the country India, the former Gemchania, and in the countries called China and Japan. The followers of the second religious teachings, and namely the Hebrew, are now scattered over the whole planet.